Hey folks, what's going on out there today? A different type of metal voice show. We were supposed to go live with Neil Turbin to discuss a new album by Ross the Boss, by Blood Sworn. Scheduling conflicts, issues, back and forth, my time zone, his time zone, couldn't do it, so I figured, hey Neil, let's do it this way. I'll record like I'm doing it live, but we'll have you on video. So Neil sent me his video review, and we'll go back and forth and discuss this great new album by Ross the Boss, by Blood Sworn. April 20th is the release date. This is the third album by Ross the Boss, the Ross the Boss band that is, including Mark Lopes, Mike LaPond on bass, and drummer Lance Barnwood, the drummer. Mark Lopes is the new vocalist, and you've probably seen some videos already. He's been playing a lot of festivals with the band. He's been in the band for a while now. Great voice. Great, fantastic voice. Fits like a glove. First thing on everybody's mind, does this sound like Manowar of the past? A little bit of, let's go back a little bit. Ross the Boss played with the Dictators, the punk legends, in 1975 and on. And then he co-founded a little group called Manowar. Had some great success. He was an integral part of the band. All right? So, the question is, again, does this album sound like Manowar, or is this just a Ross the Boss band album? I'll tell you right off the bat, this does not sound like Manowar. This sounds like something completely different. But it does have components in it that are similar to Manowar in terms of style, in terms of musicianship. Manowar is typically more of an upbeat, anthemic, go, 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 fight the world, positive sort of vibe. This is more of a darker, a deep cut, a lot of melody, a lot of singles, I would say, a little bit of prog. Great album. Let's hear what Neil had to say. And keep in mind, Neil Turbin knows Ross, and he knows Mark Lopes. Mark Lopes sang at Neil and Angelo's NAMM Jam in January. Every January they have it right on NAMM Week. Also, he knows Ross the Boss because Ross the Boss actually produced Soldiers of Metal by Anthrax when Neil was in the band. So let's just go back and forth. I have Neil pre-recorded, and I will go back and forth and talk about the tracks. So here we go. Here's Neil.
First track by Blood Sworn. And of course, you know, we get the Manowar march, but you know, not something that you didn't expect. But Mark Lopez, wow, he just really fires on this song and the next one and the one after, and wow, it just keeps coming.
So there we go, first track by Blood Sworn. And I gotta say, the whole album does not sound like Manowar, but if there was any song on the album that did sound like the band, well, it's by Blood Sworn. You'd say, right off the bat, it starts off, hey, my name is Ross the Boss, I used to be part of Manowar, and here's a bit of Manowar. I wouldn't say it's a Manowar song. Again, solid track, I mean, right off the bat, kicks off the album, fantastic track. Let's see what Neil had to say about the second song.
Among the Bones, that's really great. I like the riff on that song. It sounds more definitive of Mark and Ross, of what their sound is, and not trying to sound like something else, but it sounds like Ross the Boss. So I think this is a fabulous song, and it really gets the album going, really starts the blood pumping.
So there you go, second track, Among the Bones. I would say this is like the hit single, the mass experience. Catchy, heavy, classic, excellent. If there was a hit off the album, I would say Among the Bones. Again, Mark Lopes, killing it. And you know what I love about Ross on this album and on the songs? You could see that he's got years and years of experience playing lead guitar and rhythm guitar. And you could see all the different sort of influences in his guitar playing. You're not going to get just a shredder, or you're not going to get some flashy guitar. He's playing with the song. The solo is being driven by the song itself. All right, let's see what Neil had to say on the next track.
And the next song on the album, This Is Vengeance. Again, it's got a Manowar kind of reminiscent of Manowar in terms of the Manowar gallop, I guess, but not really Manowar, because then it kicks in with a European power metal kind of vibe, and lots of Mark screams. I mean, Mark is off the charts on this album, on this song especially. Really nice.
This Is Vengeance. Holy moly. This is sort of like Manowar meets Judas Priest. Crushing tune. So this is like more of a crushing metal song. Brutal, fantastic screams, mixed with a lot of melody and a nice little use of keyboards in the background. Another solid track, another 10 out of 10 track. Next track.
One of my favorite songs on the album, We Are the Night. This song really is the best of what Ross the Boss represents to my ears. I think this is just a top-notch song, you know, world class.
This would be the sort of epic track on the album. Mark Lopes, once again, I would consider him more in the Stu Block vocal style, the hybrid, the clean, the raunchy, the screams, the Halford screams. This is just a great epic track. And think about this when you hear this song eventually, the epic track on the album with a brutal, brutal chorus. Let's switch over to the next track.
Then there's a song called Faith of the Fallen, which starts off a little bit soft, and it's dynamic, and Ross plays some very interesting guitars, maybe nylon string, and then it gets epic and very melodic. And of course, Mark really shines on that. And the band sounds great, you know, drums and bass and all the band, you know, just very cohesive.
Neil is bang on. Faith of the Fallen. This is the deep dish. This is the deep track of the album. And again, Neil is right on. Everyone's playing towards a song. This is a big track. It's slow, and it's just, what can I say? Classic heavy metal played at its best. Refreshing. You know, we get bombarded with so much heavy metal today, and it all sounds the same. You know, sort of like the drum beat, drum blast drums. This is none of that. This is classic heavy metal, well written, and Mark Lopes is a great injection into the Ross the Boss band. Let's hit the next track.
Following Devil's Day reminds me kind of Kill with Powerish, but it really kind of goes more towards Ross's punk side, which I think is a very good thing.
With Neil, it does sound punk, but to me, it sounds like old school Alice Cooper, especially the guitar work. Let's go to Lilith, the next track.
The song after that, which is really an epic song, the bass starts this song off, a bit of a higher pitched bass, and then Mark really shines on this one, completely over the top on the vocals, and it's just an excellent track.
Lilith, again, when I'm talking about deep tracks, deep classic heavy metal tracks, well written, well crafted songwriting with enough emotion and aggression. Again, it's kind of like the ending sounds like there's the Black Sabbath riffs happening there. A beautiful Black Sabbath vibe, maybe more of a Dio-esque type of Black Sabbath. Let's go to the next track.
Pretty cool riff. I like that the riffing that's going on. Kind of reminds me of Mark Reale and Riot on some of them.
That's a cool comparison. Yeah, Play Among the Gods, the next track, melodic, very much Riot-ish. So there you go. Let's go to the next one.
Another punk flavored one. Mark just lets loose with the screams. I mean, he's just going wild on this one. And of course within control, but just, you know, really powerful. It kind of reminds me of The Dictators, sort of, kind of. And the last song on the album, which is my very favorite track on the complete album by Bloodsworn. This one's called Fistful of Hate. And this one sounds almost like Riot on the guitar riff. So I think it's a strong album. I would give it a 9 out of 10. Over to you, Jimmy.
So there you have it, folks. So just a quick correction. Circle of Damnation is the second to last track. Very fast bluesy track. Yeah, to me, Alice Cooper, even The Dictators, you could see a little bit of an influence, of a punk influence there. And Fistful of Metal, no, Fistful of Hate. Fast moving track. Again, more of a speed thrashing tune, just to beautifully end off the track. Neil gave the album a 9 out of 10, and you know what? I have not stopped listening to this album. So 9 out of 10. Go pick this up, definitely. Ross the Boss Band. There's nothing more I can say. I've been listening. It's a testament when you keep listening to an album nonstop and you keep putting it on because you want to hear it. That's the type of album it is, released to be released April 20th by Bloodsworn, Ross the Boss Band. Catch you next time on The Metal Voice.